Hello, wonderful people of the world. Thank you so much for tuning in with me for this new moon in Leo video. The new moon is happening on the 8th of August and it is an extremely potent new moon. It also coincides with the Lionsgate portal, which is when the sun and our planet lines up with the star Sirius, considered as our spiritual sun. And all of that lines up with what would be considered as the centre of our galaxy. So there's a lot here around centeredness. And I think this is a really important theme for this new moon. Centeredness, coherence, coming into wholeness, coming into fullness. An energy that's sort of surrounding us, and what makes this time so potent and also quite challenging is that there is a lot of fear in the air. You know, whether that's a collective fear around the breakdown of the structures that we've relied upon for all of our lives. You know, we've seen those structures begin to disintegrate over the past year and a half or longer. We're starting to see the cracks in the institutions that we once believed in. You know, we may be questioning where we're headed, what direction our communities and our collective is going in. There are so many unknowns that we're stepping into right now. And all of that is without the support of the structures that we've known all of our lives. So there is a lot of fear in the air, I think. And what does fear do to our frequency? It separates, it disintegrates, it brings a lot of dissonance. It's the opposite of coherence. And what this Leo season is all about is rising above the fear, seeing that it's there, acknowledging it, honouring that we are humans who have a lot of fear, whether that's fear about the collective, fear about our own personal lives and our own personal circumstances. But then it's choosing to step into new practices, step into new communities, step into new forms of expression, creation, step into grounding practices that are going to help us come back into coherence. And I think a really important lesson that I've learned so far this Leo season is that it's never going to be a linear thing, right? You're going to have days where you wake up feeling really disconnected from yourself, a kind of jarring feeling. Maybe there's fear there, not knowing what's going to happen, not knowing why you're here or what your purpose is, feeling like you're just at odds with the people around you. Maybe you feel isolated, you feel like you don't know who your community is, you don't know what you're here to offer to the world. You know, there are all of these questions, and it's okay to have days where you kind of just crumble. That's the fear. That's the fear working through you. It's an important point to process. It's important to process the fear in order for us to get to the other side of Leo, which is all about courage, coherence, love, joy, appreciation, expression, self-actualization, right? But all of that needs to happen within a context of quite a lot of collective chaos. So it is not an easy feat. I am going to draw a couple of tarot cards, and I've also got a bit of a surprise with some archetype cards to draw too. So let's see what messages are coming through from the cards today, in the light of everything that I've just been kind of ranting about. Right, so we've got the Hierophant as our first card. The Hierophant is all about a kind of teacher above us. It's about zooming out our perspective. The Hierophant, for me, this card is all about understanding that we are our own teachers. I think a more traditional view of this card would have been looking up to other institutions, other structures, looking up to a kind of patriarchal structure to teach us about ourselves. And that's what this image is kind of portraying with these two people, looking up to this teacher, this pope. And now we're starting to have to readjust what that is, what that means. We're starting to realise that the way we learn, the way we begin to integrate knowledge and wisdom into our lives, it has to come from within. It has to be a centered learning process, right? So I really encourage you this new moon to see yourself as your own teacher, you know, to really sit with yourself, look at your experiences of fear, look at your experiences of joy, look at what has been coming in for you so far in this Leo season, and really start to see where the repeated patterns are, where you seem to be drawn to, what's magnetizing you, to really begin to build a sense of community and learning and wisdom and integration, but from the inside out. So instead of looking for authority from the outside to tell you what is a valid point of view, or you know, what is a justifiable fact, you know, to actually start to turn that around and center yourself and look at your own emotional reactions and responses to things, and use that as a guide to help you towards building a community around you, a community of mentors, teachers, people that you can pass your knowledge on to, people that you can share your knowledge with, people that you can collaborate with. This new moon, it's all about community. Even though it's happening in Leo, which is a very self-expressed sign, you know, there's a lot here about centering in yourself. But because we're sandwiched between two Aquarius full moons, there's a lot of Aquarian energy happening right now. And what we're being really asked to do is to center ourselves, but then allow that to expand our sense of community, allow that to attract in the right people. So a really basic example of this would be, you know, thinking about the people that you follow online, thinking about the people that you're learning from, the kind of virtual community that you are building. Do those people make you feel lighter? Do they help to raise your vibration? Do they help to expand your consciousness? Are they having a positive impact in your life? Are they bringing more joy or possibility for joy into your life? Are they increasing your capacity for love, compassion, acceptance, especially self-acceptance? Are they doing all of those things? Because if they are, then they need to be part of your community, right? If they aren't, then maybe it's time to evaluate what you're building. Who are you communicating with? Who are you supporting? What kind of new structures are you wanting to build from the inside out? Using your own emotions and your own responses and your own thought patterns and beliefs and reactions as a way to guide you, right? And the kind of north star of all of that is love, joy, compassion, which is exactly what the Leo new moon is all about, and Leo is all about. So the second card, yeah, the Four of Wands reversed. So upright, this is all about outward celebration, right? It's all about partying, it's all about applause. You know, it's a very kind of traditional Leo symbology happening here. It's all about being celebrated by the world, by the people around you. But it's reversed this time. And that really chimes in with the new moon energy, which is all about reflection. It's about prioritizing yourself and your own internal landscape, prioritizing celebration and acceptance, but within the plane of yourself, your own personal energy. And I've talked a lot about collective energy. Now I've talked a lot about community, but it all has to center, it all has to come from an integrated sense of self. And how do we get to an integrated sense of self? We accept ourselves more, we celebrate ourselves more, we allow ourselves to feel more joy, we allow ourselves to feel more love. Those are incredibly important, right? We cannot rebuild the world, the structures, the communities that we now need in order to upgrade. We cannot build those things if we do not love and accept ourselves first. Okay, the final card. Wow, the Three of Cups reversed. I've been really thinking about this card this morning, so I'm really glad to see it. It's very much in a similar vein to the Four of Wands reversed. This is about building community from the inside out. It's a card about celebration, a very Leo energy coming through here. It's about community, it's about solidarity, it's about beginning to express yourself to the world and realize that you do have a really valuable contribution to bring to the world. It's about beginning to be creative and allowing that creativity to shine out of you. But this is reversed, and that's really saying that it has to come from the inside out. So, this is a really big theme that's coming through for this new moon. It has to come from the inside out. Use this time, use this new moon energy, and of course it's also coinciding with the Lionsgate portal energy, which is all about aligning to the very center of our galaxy, right? This is all about centeredness. Use this energy to get really clear on what you want to feel, on what kind of frequency you want to feel. Get really clear on that. And I know there's a lot of talk about manifesting going on, and I think that's also really potent and important. But what is it that we're looking at when we talk about manifesting? Often we talk about manifesting material 3D things, and there's nothing wrong with that. But why? Why do we want to manifest those things? To feel better, right? To experience certain emotions, to open up our capacity to feel certain emotions like joy or self-worth or celebration or love. Well, what if we just cut out the 3D stuff and went straight down into the very core of this? Yeah. So much of this is about community. So much of this is about collaboration, creativity, and it has to start from you, from the core of you, your heart space. This is where you begin to radiate out. Yeah. And if you can work on that, if you can work on cultivating that, this new moon, really get clear on the feelings that you want to be bringing out, the kind of the thoughts that you want to be feeling, the affirmations that you want to be living, embodying. Think about that. Think about manifesting those things and allow that to then unfold, because your heart space, your heart energy is the most powerful energy in the world, in the universe. It will begin to radiate out if you really nurture that and integrate it. And then you will start to see other things fall into place, right? The outside world will start to shape itself around the energy of your heart. I hope that makes sense. I feel like I've been rambling a little bit. Okay, let's draw an archetype card. This is from Kim Kranz's The Wild Unknown Archetypes deck, which I absolutely love. So I'm going to just draw a card from this deck. We can see how it links into messages around the new moon. The shadow. Ugh. Goodness. How could I express this any better? Look at that image. It's about bringing the light and the dark together. It's about the center. This whole image is about integration. The shadow rules our lives when it is not integrated into the rest of our being. Yeah. Leo energy is all about light. It's all about brightness. It's about luminescence. It's about being radiant. But we cannot just be radiant without also understanding that there is a shadow side to us that needs to be accepted and brought into our light. That's where the real gold is. Yeah, that's where the fear lives. That's where the unknown lives. You know, when you find yourself feeling fearful this Leo season, understand the fear as a friend. The fear is your friend, and it is wanting you to integrate it, to face it, to be courageous, to expand your capacity, to welcome new things into your life. So this shadow aspect is incredibly important to this new moon in Leo. Yeah. I hope that's been helpful. It's been helpful for me just to talk about it. I wish you all a wonderful new moon in Leo. Thank you so much for watching this, and do let me know how you found this message and what your plans are for this very potent time. Thank you so much, and I will see you again very soon.